Hey guys, back here from a Pat here. Today we're going to be transplanting papayas, and I'm going to be showing you one simple trick that I use in order to guarantee that I have female papayas for papaya trees. Female papaya trees produce the absolute sweetest papayas. Male trees do not produce fruit. They do produce a beautiful flower that's great for the pollinators, but they do not produce fruit. There are also hermaphrodite papayas trees that do produce a fruit, but they're not. I find that they're not quite as sweet. They're okay, but they're not quite as sweet as the female papayas. So I'm going to show you a very simple trick that I use to make sure that my papaya trees are female. This has worked for me so far. Over the past three to 5 years, I would say it has worked 100% of the time for me. If you guys have know something different, let me know. Anyway, let's get started. We're going to transplant these. These are way, I waited way longer than I normally wait to transplant, so I'm hoping that the trick works. Normally, when you're transplanting, when you're doing the process that I spoke about to get them to be female, I normally do them when they're like 6 to 8 inches tall. But you can see these are way too tall. They're way taller than normal. If I waited too long on these, it's okay. But I just want to show you guys the steps that I use to guarantee that these are female. I'm gonna have to be careful of my drip irrigation. This is a raised bed, so it's gonna be very easy to come up. You know what? Let's start off on. Let's start off with one of the small ones. I have one smaller papaya tree here in the middle. It's not that small. Well, actually, we have two small ones. So I'm gonna show you. This little small one is the ideal size. This one's a little bit bigger, but let's transplant these two, and I'll show you exactly what I do. All right, so I'm gonna go a few inches off to the side, maybe 6 inches off to the side. I'm using a pointed shovel, and we're gonna go straight down. Papaya root, the main tap root goes straight down. There are some side roots, but the main tap root is what we're gonna focus on today. So I'm going maybe 6 inches out and going straight down. All right, and I'm gently raising up because I don't want to disturb that tap root yet. These two came up fully. Let's take these over to where we're gonna plant them. Gonna transplant these to pots. And I mentioned to you that there is a main tap root. That's the main root that goes from the trunk down the plant. You can see this one here is the most prominent root. This is the tap root. So what I do to guarantee this has, as I said to you, this has worked for me. I'm thinking now it's been over the past 5 years. This has worked for me 100%. I haven't had one fail yet. I look at the main tap root and I cut the main tap root and then I plant it. That has worked for me 100% of the times. Let's do this one. This one is a lot easier to see the main tap root. So this is the trunk, and you can see the main root going down. I just clip the end. Clip the end of the tap root. When you do that and you plant it, you're gonna lose some leaves. The leaves are gonna all wilt, and you're gonna lose the leaves initially, but the leaves will come back, and once it starts flowering, it's gonna be female. After you do this, you wanna make sure you put it under a tree, but first let's pot them up. So I already have some pots with soil here, and this is not any any special soil. It's mainly reused soil. So I just emptied a bunch of my potted plants into the wheelbarrow. I added a little bit of peat moss because I have it, the Spackman peat moss, and some earthworm castings, and I just mixed everything together. So it's really just reused soil. Papayas don't really require a ton. And let me show you what the soil looks like. is what the soil looks like. It has a little bit of chicken bedding. You can see that straw. That's like some chicken bedding that's in there. Some old chicken bedding with dried up manure. So I'm just doing this. I'm hoping you guys can see. Let's do it in this one. Hold on. All right, you just make a little hole in the center. You put it down, and then you put the soil back up around it to the level that it was in the soil. I'm gonna water this well, I'm gonna mulch it, and I'm gonna stick it under a tree in shade until the leaves perk back up. As I said, the leaves are gonna get very wilted. Some of the leaves may fall, but you just have to keep it consistently moist over the next week or so until the leaves perk up. Let's do this large one. I'm gonna do this large one next. I already cut the taproot, so I'm just gonna make a hole here in the soil, push it down. This has a lot more roots, side roots. I'm just gonna backfill the side roots here. Backfill the soil to cover up the side roots. Ooh, I see a nice fat earthworm in there. Nice fat earthworm. Yep, and that's it. All right, guys, I'm gonna stick it under the tree, my famous ackee tree. So every single transplant I do, everything I do, guys, mulch is just critical to keeping the moisture in, keeping the soil from eroding. Mulching is critical, especially when you're gone for days at a time. You know, sometimes I travel. The mulch will keep the moisture balanced, and so your plants don't die while you're gone. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and stick them under the tree. I don't have to water it in front of you guys. You guys know how to water. What I love about these papaya plants is that they grow straight up and they fit into compact areas. So what I'll probably do is plant like the two of these largest ones directly into the garden. They literally look like they are about to flower. So I hope it's not too late to cut the taproot, because once it already has shown a male flower, you cannot change it to female. And I know there are a whole bunch of videos out there showing, you know, stick a nail through it or chop the top off. I have other videos, my very early videos, where I tried all that. I chopped the top off. I put nails through it and through my male papayas, and they didn't turn. So maybe it worked for others, it just didn't work for mine. So what I have done is I just stuck with what I know has worked for me. And that's cutting the taproot before it flowers, preferably when it's maybe less than 12 inches tall. I'm gonna stick them under here, right beside my ackee tree, my ackee plants. I have a whole bunch of ackee plants. You guys need ackees, let me know. Ooh. As a matter of fact, if you guys stuck with me, I'm gonna give you one of my papaya plants. If you're local, you'll get one of my very sweet papaya plants. I have several more that I need to transplant, but I'll do that offline. But I just wanted to thank you guys. You guys, some of you got the free callaloo giveaways the other day. But these papayas, let me tell you, everything from the leaves to the seeds to the delicious fruit is so beneficial that I want to share it with my loyal subscribers. So if you made it this far and you are local to the Palm Bay area, you can get one of these papayas.